Hey, hey, hey. How's everybody doing? Welcome, welcome, Metaphysical Mama. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you're, you know, if you'd be so kind. The energy is great when we can make it grow and expand and add to our tribe. So I'm just gonna do a real quick. I've been on like a lot of well, it's Friday, so happy Friday for me. um, and whatever day or moment it is for you presently. And it is what, December 7th. And it's been a lot of, Lucifer energy and different thing with the color green, and just I've been kind of getting bounced around in a lot of different arenas here. Previous to this too, I'm not gonna get too into it, but I started getting into the Uranatia of the Lucifer too. So yeah, there's a lot of, it's like I could feel a lot of things going on all the time. 6:36 right now, 119. I got Dave Matthews in the background. Nobody knows but me. That's how I feel. That's kind of what I was just saying. It's like great inside. It's like, but thank goodness, like for all the other, spiritual badasses out here, and like, tarot readers and empaths and intuitives and 144, etc. All of us that are doing and bringing the information forward, because it's like a lot of it is so hard to explain or talk about anybody, as especially when 202, they've made it to make us all look cuckoo chill, which I ain't got no problem acting or being crazy. I have a big problem though when motherfuckers make up lies and stories and harm, cause harm, and do it purpose, like with intent. There's difference when, like we hurt each other not meaning to, it's just life. We get hurt through life, and, we carry expectations or get used to things, and, get upset when things change, or someone, um, breaks our heart or isn't what we, a hole in my, oh, a hole in my, sorry, I only wear this inside, but big old holy, holy, holy hole. I have to sew it. What a bummer. I love this day. It's so warm. Um, anyhow, distractions. I had to mean something. Big old hole sticking out. Oh Lord. Anyhow, so yeah, etymology of Lucifer. Let's get into that. Um, so yeah, it's just been lots of Luciferian energy coming through, which Lucifer means light bringer, and Venus too. But don't get confused, just like the word Jesus and Horus, or right, Thoth, or many others. Again, look at that as like a last name sometimes, or that there's there's imposters and impersonators, 414. That's what I was saying. Yeah, thank goodness for all of us that bring out the information. That's what, see, man, they don't understand. You know, it's important to connect with our heart intelligence. Energy never lies, people do. And we don't always mean to, and then others are just straight up Decepticons, 441. So, having discernment and ability to navigate, right, a little bit more, And also, not even, because as we navigate, we're guided to let go, right? So navigation comes from, right, it becomes like letting go, allowing things to flow and be more fluid, and at the same time, right, bringing in all this immense um, light codes and DNA upgrades, right, that, allowing the self to come into higher dimensions and higher realization and spiritual awareness, and right, becoming more consciously aware that there's more. Faces come out in the rain when you're strange. Right, the doors of perception become grander. We are able to see through more doors and be more fluid through them all, right? Well, a lot of the time remaining still, fucked up. But all right, so into the etymology of Lucifer, 606. So, and thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. I so appreciate. I hope you're enjoying the channel, and there'll be a lot more to come. I'm working on a website with the other half there of that one. So, I'm working on a lot of stuff. So we'll see how things, pan out. And, so far, just, yeah, kind of just staying neutral and cautiously aware while also trying to remain neutral and fluid, and just, right, make it through wherever it is we got to get through. That's all we can do, right? Okay. So Old English, Lucifer, and they have in parentheses here Satan. I'm reading out of Etymon line. So you can look up the etymology, to like any word, to look up the origin of it, and then kind of you'll get guided to see more, or you might see something that you may want to look more into. Look up the your last name, middle name, etymology, like first name. You find some interesting things when you start to play around with the metaphysical meanings and the etymology thing, vibration, where it came from. So Satan, also morning star, Venus in the morning sky before sunrise. Satan, also morning star, Venus in the morning sky before sunrise. That makes sense. Sorry, like as I read, I channel a lot of information. Just to introduce myself, Metaphysical Mama. So it's a metaphysical channel, a little bit about nothing, and a lot of bit about everything, and a bunch of whoop in between. So, yeah, I channel a lot of information through divine, through spirit, through elementals, through fairy, through however, right? Just energy. I read energy. This is some weird loop of people are strange. It's kind of like creepy and haunting. He's like pointed. It's like the cover of the Best of the Doors album. It's like, oh wait, he got this finger. Oh. That one. I don't know. Strange. Okay, so yeah, I channel information, and so yeah, music, right, multi-dimensional. No, 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 no. So information comes from all directions, all currents, all sources, all the time. So I just kind of allow my right to hold space, remain as neutral as possible, be of service, and allow things to process and transmute through. Because this is like, twin flame stuff and all that. We're in, chosen ones, elect ones, right? All these different 144 grid workers, light workers. There's so many different beings and people and entities, star systems, helping its galactic ascension. So, however, right, things relate and resonate with you is fucking A, awesome, right? Um, so yeah, as I read, like one word blossoms as a seed into a lot of things, and sometimes I get hit with a lot of information at once, and so I don't mind sharing it, and when I can, and when divine, right, like when it's in real time. So yeah, so Satan also morning star, Venus in the morning sky before sunrise. So see, because yeah, I'm just like going into like the okay. This song is, I love that song, but whoa, that was horrific. It was like this. Speaking of a loop, it was a loop. That was a looper, right? As far as cosmology goes and like where things begin and then how we are, how stories started and what makes us going into the etymology of things. So we're breaking things down in real form as we go through them. That's why I don't record and put things up. It's like I come on and it's like impromptu and like raw and real. So I hope you appreciate because it's yeah, and I don't really look at it. Yeah, 11:44. I don't go back and really look at my stuff much because yeah, I don't. I put the message. It's meant for messages, and so it comes in all different ways and directions. So if that is for you and you can handle the cosmic surf and groove, then I appreciate you even more. And if not, then don't worry about it. And I don't take that offensively at all because, yeah, I bounce around a lot and it's a lot of multidimensional shit. And that's what metaphysics truly is. So it's just kind of allowing everything to come in and through. And a lot of the time, I try to make a plan. Like there's a saying, right? Man makes plans and God laughs, right? So when we really just allow ourselves to freely swim, it's like swimming in the water. We don't have control over the water, right? We can swim with the current. So when we allow ourselves to really freely be that fluid and still try to kind of semi stay in some kind of an arena, it gets a bit tricky, but but we try to make it work. We do our best, but like I said, right then they laugh. So I've learned how to just laugh with it and keep on going. All right. So yeah, but so as far as so right. Also an epithet or name of Diana from Latin Lucifer, morning star. Noun, use of adjective, literally light bringing. From lux, genitive, lucius, light. From pi, root, luke, like lukewarm, Leuk, light, brightness. Plus, to fair, right? To carry, to bear, right? From pi root, Bher, bear, to carry, also to bear children. Venus in the evening sky was Hesperus. Right, so now that's into right. Oh, right. Oh, the fallen one, because it rises in the morning and then it falls in the evening. It comes up right with. Well, so, the other thing we described is like the son of dawn, Aurora, which would make sense if it's the Hesperus one, which also means Vesper, right? And also, right, as far as periodic table and right, elementals, Elohim, elementals, sons of God, sons of well, we're gonna that's a whole nother video, but phosphorus, also light bringer, right? 1441. Like if a boat is traveling on the water, right, or you're on the water at night, right, that blue light that comes right, the phosphorus that travels behind the boat, which is also how, right, trolls then in turn too are born with mariners and Odin and Homer's Odyssey. So like the originations of where elementals and consciousness of certain beings are right born, originate from, and a lot of time we may not have awareness right until right hindsight is always 2020. So a lot of time we don't know until right. So that's what we're trying to get through, right? Going through now. So it's like no pointing and blaming and fault and all that stuff, right? As far as it's like right now we're just trying to get through, and others that are trying to right pull and push and tug and etc. through all this that we're all going through with the pandemic and etc. This is just the sign of the times, right? The apocalypse, right? The revealing of truths, right? 1551. Um, so okay. So yeah, phosphorus, which we're gonna get into also, but belief that it was the proper name of Satan began with its use in the Bible to translate Greek phosphorus, which translates Hebrew Hallel ben Shahar in Isaiah 14:12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? Because of the mention of a fall from heaven, which we just spoke, right? Because it's like what goes up must come down, heaven and earth, as above, so below, as above, so below, right? Like the ocean produces, or right, rain clouds, right? The moisture produces up clouds, just like we have our eye clouds, right? That hold memory, hold storage, right? Watchers of the house or holding, like, do you know who has all your information that you put online or anything that you send through or any picture you take or text and etc.? It's all flying through, right? The air, the technological airwaves and social media. And like, remember like Wreck-It Ralph, 1717. Right, so inside the internet, right? And the universal father, the universe is mental, right? So that's, and then that works in, right, again, like the morning star and the evening star, that works in coercion with Mother Nature, and the, right? So everything all comes together. It just depends on how we, the people, use any energy, right? And come to awareness of ourselves as we're going through this Luciferianism shit, boo boos, which is also again like lots of rituals of death and rebirth and like right Egypt, any of these, any shaman, any ancient ritual of in any religion. These are just they're all relative to Buddhism, Hinduism, exile, pilgrimage. It's all relevant, right, to living a life, messing up, becoming accountable for, right, like our moral inventory, going through our shit after feeling like shit, hitting rock bottom in some way, type, form, level, etc. Right? And then finding a way to pick ourselves up and rebirth ourselves. Look what happens with natural disasters. A lot of the time, right? Unfortunately, right? Good things are born out of chaos. Right? So, but we don't want to harm or cause chaos on purpose. Well, when the divine and Mother Earth and and the cosmos and the stars are aligned, and we heard it through the grapevine, and it's that time, that's what time it is. So we don't have a decision about it. I don't get to control that or be like, okay, or can we just wait till tomorrow? Can we just wait till like 2 o'clock instead of right? It's like, yeah, no, that river, right? Bearing children, Venus, So it's like when the we can't stop the cosmic, right, information from coming through, the light waves, the solar flares, the data, the information, right? The things that we use as technology operate in the same way that nature does, like in a parallel way, right? The other side of the mirror, right? It's okay. Please like and subscribe. Please subscribe, tribe, subscribe. Thumbs up, thumbs down. If I drive you nuts, that's cool. You don't need to stick around either. 6:55, 2044. So yeah. So okay. So Isaiah 14:12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? Because of the mention of a fall from heaven, the verse was interpreted spiritually by Christians as a reference to Satan, even though it is literally a reference to the king of Babylon. Now, Satan is in the morning, so it's when right, rising, horizon, dawn, horizon, everything coming up out of the dark into the light. Let there be light. That's when the Lord comes. Yeah, Horus, so the horizon. King. They're saying the evil twin. And I go into doppelganger and clones and what, yeah. And let us make an image of images, false images, idolatry, false images. And now we have the internet too. So how easy is it to take the image of another and replicate, duplicate, marinate, and make it look like whatever, and or straight up use digital shit to like actually they make like other websites with us and like all that. That's why it's like I'm a little yeah, I get a little hesitant with all that, like the website shit, just because 2222 again, yeah, well, because I'm being guided and it gives me a sour taste in my like it's like my boat's being rocked and I have like a and it's like, yeah, it's like I'd like to do that. Sure. Would I like to like have it like be like, yeah, but there's some like interference and shit. Or like, yeah, right. So it's like I don't wanna like I don't like opening something when it's not it's like I'm not gonna feed somebody stuff that's not good. If like like as far as like I mean I have to recount that a little bit because I'm a chef and stuff, and my family's had to be like the experimental guinea pigs of many things that may not have been the most edible, but we've always gotten a laugh out of it or had some kind of crazy memory of how we couldn't eat it. So I don't do anything on purpose to harm anybody or anything. I definitely get a little experimental in the kitchen sometimes. I'm like, ooh, how about I add a little more? I get, I can overdo it. So I'm not one that has good compartmentalization skills and like right I'm learning right like yeah, so different in being able to form things by having that linear perspective, and like I just said, I'm a little bit more like fluid like Wawa. So and yeah, and a la of it. So it's like it just keeps moving, and I'm like I don't even like, as you see a lot of time when I'm on here, sometimes I don't even, it's like I can't even go back to where I just was because I'm like, oh, it went too fast. Oh, we're already way down the river in another whole timeline, in another galaxy, in another whole different place, way another dimension. I can't, we can't go back with it. Can't go back. I don't and and if it's meant to come back, it will. And that's having that faith, like that blind faith, because it's like right, navigate. So uh you can't control your way through a black hole, right, or down like, yeah, rushing river rapids. You just, right, or birthing process. This is right, to bear children, right, the fair to fairy, to bear, to fair. How many ways does that word to fair, 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 skin, light, brightness, and then again, Hesperus or Vesper is when the sun goes under, right? And at sun set tries to set up Osiris, right? But you can't get into that box. But he goes into the underworld at night, right? It's these terms for the cycles of the sun, right? And Venus. Now Venus's orbit, though, right, is that of just it bounces right. Pew, 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 pew. However, so Venus is that freaking star in the middle, right? It doesn't go the same as, right? And see, it's more, yeah, it's like goes, of course, you could go both ways. Because as you go one way, the opposite goes the other way too, right? It's like, so it's going both ways at the same time. If that made any sense at all. They just had me right. So, and when I'm all animated like that, it's because like I'm literally getting moved through, like energetically, right? It's like chi, the chi, following the river of. So, it's what is it? Like quantum physics, astrophysics. It's the cosmology and like the electromagnetic grid or energetics that is right swaying the currents, the way that the currents are traveling in multi-dimensional form. So I right use my vessel, my body a lot to perform that the motions of such nature, right? So same as like think of like again like doing tai chi or something or any or what's the other I love that other exercise too. There's yoga, but not that. And I love that too. But I get the music in my head and too much going on. But right, different energy exercises. So it's when you're, well, Eastern philosophy and Western philosophy way different, right? So this is those coming together as well. So cyclical cycles. So yeah, setting up Osiris going into the underworld, falling from heaven. So right, it could right, or you ever think of it this way too? If you can relate mentally to like in them, it's like, oh, you have like great ideas, you want things to work out great, and then because I deal with right, we're dealing with all these. This is on a collective, right? So we're dealing with these players in multiple forms, right? Because we're fragmented, like shattered glass. So pieces were split and right, separated throughout with it. Again, like look at a name as like a last name, a family bloodline, a trait, a virus that certain ones of us carry, and then it's like right, and then we learn the tools, we learn right, and it gets passed through the waters. Everything goes through the air and the waters, in one way or another, and water is always recording. So yeah, the sun goes up, the sun goes down. So the cycles that we all go through, like you wake up in the morning like, oh, we're gonna have a great day, or we have all these thoughts of what we're gonna do or say, or what we would like, blah blah blah, whatever, or how you'd like a relationship to go, or a job interview, or a date, or right, something you're creating, birthing, right? Like my baby website, that's very special to me. So I don't want that like to be built on a faulty foundation, right? I would like, right, all of that to be, but if it's supposed to, which it's up there, and I hope you check it out. And but right now it's like it's up there, so I'm saying that, but it's so my eye, sorry. It needs a lot of work. And yeah, it's not properly written yet. Like I have a friend working on it with me, so again, work in progress. It's we're just playing around presently. So that being said, um, time will tell, and the divine will let me and us and you know as well. Because maybe you're going through something like that. I'm having to refer to that. Being unsure. Like if you're unsure, like there's a little like right ding ling ling ling. Hold on to midnight. It's okay to wait on things when we're unsure. Eh? Okay. So, but yeah, cycle wise, how art thou fallen from heaven? So, yeah, when we can look forward to something and then get disappointed, or somebody, again, be wary of those bearing gifts. Santa Claus, Satan Claus. Santa can come bearing gifts and then get very upset if, right, he's not praised, or, right, the Lord, King of Babylon, right? He's given you ABC and now you're not respecting him. That's it, right? So that's that energy, right? Um, which I have grown up with lots of that energy around me. Oh my eye. Sorry. So I like to put makeup on time. All right. So let's see. Even though it is literally a reference to the king of Babylon, sometimes rendered day star in later translations. Yeah, day star. Right? So when the sun goes to right, there's 12 hours and 24 hours in a day, right? 7:07. So we have 12 a.m. and 12 p.m., right? 12 and 12. And then 12 times 12 is 144, right? Or we get the 144, and well, that goes into a whole bunch of stuff too. And then 9 and 1, 4, and 4 is 9. Which also King of Babylon and right, Cthulhu, the Chthonic stage. That's again different jealousy. So when the sun goes down under the horizon, he's like ah ha ha and captures um yeah, the capturer. It's like, you ever see Thumbelina? As friction match, 1831, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, short for Lucifer match, friction match, short for Lucifer match. Oh, friction. That makes sense too. Among the 16th century adjectival forms were Luciferian, Luciferine, Luciferus. There was a noted bishop, Lucifer of Cagliari in Sardinia in the 4th century, a strict anti-Arian regarded locally as a saint. Huh? And then the etymology of phosphorus, I pulled up also. 1640s, which is 11. Substance or organism that shines of itself, from Latin phosphorus, light bringing. Also the morning star, a sense attested in English from 1620, 79. From Greek phosphorus, morning star, literally torch bearer. Now that was evening star. When we read that earlier, the Vesper is the male personification bearing a torch. That's like hero's journey, like her, right, bearing the torch. So we want to get right. That's like the divine masculine's bearing the torch, but then he's also right or this is so tricky, right? Twin flame wise, we've also right like experienced, some of us had it right, being pretty much single moms or having to be that divine head of household masculine, right? And kind of forego our so like, you know, feminine. We've been more the masculine, having to take care of things, and the intellectual and make sure things are figured out, taken care of, etc. That's being masculine. That's masculine intellect, right? Divine masculine, right? It's like that wise grandfather. They have awareness. So they're that wise man you talk to, or father figure, the nice one, not the pervert yucky one. Right. So, but yeah, torchbearer can also be, that's like Knight of Wands, and or you know, Ace of, like, come King of Wands. Yeah, Ace of Wands, the Wands, Magician. Um, Ego. That's why it's also right. Ego. The crown and the solar plexus. That's why too. What goes up? Right, the crown, and this is virus of the crown, the corona, and the solar plexus. But now the sun, right, the chosen one, the sun, the solar plexus, that's again, late Venus is right, child bearer, 7-11. So if Gaia is pregnant with, right, Earth, all that are pregnant within Gaia, right, and Uranus are about to, right, be reborn, birthed, or that are in the, right, this is the womb and the tomb. It goes into Valhalla and what have you. So this is right where there's so many different, it becomes so many different sections, sectors, realms, dimensions, right? It's like, right, I don't even, it's like, who framed Roger Rabbit? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nanu is right. Okay, so let's get through this. Time to eat some din din. Okay. Light daylight related to, from phos, light, contraction of philos, light daylight, related to Fenian, to show, to bring a light. So then in phos, as far, that kind of sounds too like, right, to bring, to show, right, bringing light to the stage, which is again a different kind of light. How many different ways is light get brought? So some of us, again, we do it in different ways, and it's to have appreciation and gratitude and gratefulness for, sometimes, you know, we don't know how it feels. We think it might look or seem or feel like, oh, they think that they're, and it's like that's not even what's going on, right? Or and vice versa, and etc. So the assumption, right, assuming, makes an ass out of you and me, right? There's some etymology too, right? When we break it down and think about how words sound. That's why these videos are always so long, and everything I say goes into so many different directions all the time anyway, because it's not about being right, wrong, or even necessary philosophy. It's just about being willing, right? Like, are you willing? Like, if you're gonna be a quarterback, you know, are you gonna be willing to catch that ball come humming at you? You know, you have to be willing to. You have to, right? Not just anybody could, right, be that guy, right? That's why there's different, right, players for different positions. Not everybody can play the same position. Not everybody can do the same things. Not everybody can play. A lot of people pay to go watch, right? They're watchers, right? That's being a watcher, right? Or we're watching a video, we're watching each other on screens, right? We're watching each other in real life, right? In the malls, at the beaches, in the parks, in the gyms, and the, right? We're right. We're a world of social right? We connect that way and learn and adapt and etc. So, this is, a lot of stuff to go through, but um allow me, take me home. Let's keep reading about phosphorus. All right, so related to Fanian, to show, to bring light to, from pi root, Baha, BHA, to shine, forest, bearer, from Farian, to carry, also to bear children. Now, don't forget to like sea goat, or a lot of creatures that are, on this earth and stuff, lay eggs or are don't like have a sex or something, right? Like there's so many different ways of producing life. Oh, plant life. I think that, and seahorses, I think the male gives birth. Seahorses, the male, right? Mermaids and seahorses. I think it's, yeah, seahorses. And they may even switch back and forth their, right, sex as well. They're able to change back and forth. I forgot what other animals and like sea life and, and then think of the, difference between mammals, creatures, and, flyers, and again, those that like lay eggs, and then those that of us that, right, mammal carrying now, and how many other ways do we birth something, right? A project, creative project. So it's like, great, coming into like, oh yeah, well, that, instead of just cutting it off right away, like, oh, that's crazy and ridiculous to think that way, and that's so way out there. It's like, yeah, but isn't that where everybody's trying to fly like rocket ships too? Using fossil fuel, phosphorus fuel, using fossil fuel in a nuclear fusion. 717, making man-made illusions. All right. I don't know. I know we have lots of surprises coming. Just keep swimming. So yeah, to bury, to care, because we're all carriers and been carrying burdens, and we all have burdens to bear, and we're all like this birthing a new earth, literally. I mean, this is like, I'm getting delirious. I'm gonna get ready to go. As the name, Stairway to Heaven, nice. As the name of a solid, non-metallic combustible chemical element, it is recorded from 1680, originally one among several substances so called. The word used exclusively of the element from century 1750, 13, gun, 15, 6. It was discovered in 1669 by Henning Brand. 22. Merchant and alchemist of Hamburg, who derived it from urine. Lavoisier demonstrated it was an element in 1777. According to Flood, it is the first element whose discoverer is known. 4404. Well, that's interesting shit. I had no idea, and that makes complete urine, which again, too, right? Like 4414 in our bladder, right? Again, a lot of this refers to inside the physical body, or in the, how it, all these different metaphysical forms. See, this is why it's like so good when we read. According to Flood, it is the first element whose discoverer is known. Okay, all right. So, and this is inner alchemy, right? So, it got me laughing. And snorting. Oh, and dropping things. I don't know what I dropped. It's okay though. Tryptophan. So it's phosphorus factor on psychophont. Oh, psychophont. Fantasia. Fantasy. The BHA to shine. Baha. That bah. Bah. A aphotic. Aphotic. Bandolier. Banner. Banneret. That made me think. Banneret. Bangerang. What the hell movie is that? A kid movie. Bangerang. Beacon. Beckon. Buoy. Diaphanous, emphasis, epiphany, fantasia, fantasy. That's right. Fantasy is like great, an idea. Which things that we love, right? Like we all have them, but that's like remember the movie Pinocchio, Fantasy Island, right? Or is that like the show? Either way, in Pinocchio, though, right? The guy, right? And he stopped listening to Jiminy Cricket. He's like, leave me alone. So we all go through a Luciferian stage, a rebellion stage where, we want to we want to do it our way. And or we're like, oh, whatever, whether it's with school or not listening to, right, some kind of, right, guidance or, whatever, a relationship, right? However, different many ways we need to find ourselves by, you know, uh, stepping into our own light, becoming a beam of our own light, making visible, display. It's saying, right? So make appear, make shine, glitter. So yeah, um, go your own way to find yourself, right? Step out of line of what's expected of you. So that's why there's these lines are right fine because it's like in one step it's like we don't want to be you don't want to be sheep and follow the herd because a herd goes to get slaughtered, right? They're that, but most will stay anyway because they know what to expect. But it's okay. That's okay too, right? That's why but it's important to be able to have the information, right? So the truth can shine and resonate within and from you naturally. If others are trying to manipulate that in order to have false control and maintain order in the likeness of the way they see it fit and the way that they want it in their image, right? How we're reading about the fantasy, hierophant, pant, Thane. So I know again, see, I'm babbling. I know. There's still time to change the road you're on. Phenomenon is the next word. Phantasm. Phantasmagoria. Well, that's a whole. Phase. Phene. Phonetic. Pheno. Phenology. Phenomenon. Phenol. Right? Phenol. Phenol. Don't be trying to hurt my eye. I don't want to finish time with this. Back up. The piper's calling you to join him. Can you hear the wind blow? And did you know your stairway lies on the whispering wind? Okay. Photon, photograph, photogenic, photocopy, photic, phosphorus, phyton, psychophont, theophany, Tiffany, tryptophan. Interesting. Interesting. The hypothetical source of evidence for its existence is provided by Sanskrit hati, shines, glitters, Greek phanion, bring to light, make appear, phantazine. I probably said that way wrong in Greek. I apologize if I did. Phantazine, make visible, display, Old Irish, ban, white, light, ray of light. And then bear, Bher, we're almost done. Informs all are Aberdeen, amphora, to carry, also to bear children. Proto-Indo-European, Proto-Euro, Proto-Indo-European tongue twister. Root meaning to carry, also to bear children. It forms all or part of Aberdeen, amphora, anaphora, aquifer, excuse me, orifice, barren, barrow, not barren, like Bairn, like barren, barrow, frame for carrying a load, right? So our skeleton, bearing, Bernice. Bernice's lock of hair is next to Virgo, where Virgo is holding the wheat, except in a lot of other constellations. Well, as you can see, they had turned it into the patriarch. It was a man, like I don't know, if it's a Catholic dude or whatever. It just makes me think of like Vatican, but it looks like they're holding up with their left hand with their back to us, trying to grab Bernice's lock of hair, which is up in the stars, right? Pay special attention to the writing on the wall. But Virgo, right? That's when they flip the mirror, right? So Virgo though is the rain goddess, right? Holding the wheat in the left hand. Not a man with the back. So the man with the back turn. Well, I mean that's another one too. I mean it's not like it's not what it is, but you know. Flip flop, flip flop. Again, like what we were just reading, right? The copy, photocopy, photos. Oh man, that photos do those shit. Yeah, again, caution, right? In the wind, whispers in the wind. Pay attention, to that, to this compass in here. We gotta listen very hard. So photic, yeah, photocopy, photogenic, photograph, photon, right? And then photosynthesis, right? Kind of plants coming up toward the sun, growing. So yeah, so interesting, yeah. So going back to Ber, Bher, yeah, bearing, Bernice. That's like into Juno, which we were getting to Lucifer before with the ones I did earlier. You look up Lucifer in Wikipedia, like you gotta look in many different arenas and areas to really and it's like there's still like we'll never get it all. It's just right, like just take it as it comes. Just allow yourself to be a little, willing and open-minded to allow more to flow in and from. Oh, so hold on as we keep going. Yeah. Beer, Bier, or beer, I want to say it wrong. Birth, bring, burden, a load. Carboniferous, Christopher. That's so cool. Bernice and Christopher are there. Hold on. Chromatophore. You be fooling, messing with me. All right, chromatophore, circumference. Oh. Confer, conference, conifer, cumber, cumbersome. Defer, yield, differ, difference. Differentiate, efferent, esophagus. Throat chakra, yield. Interesting. Euphoria, ferret, fertile. Foraminifera. Foraminifera. I don't know what that means. Forebear. Fossiliferous. This is verb. Vertive, indifferent, infer, infernus, Lucifer, metaphor. That's great. Odoriferous. Odoriferous. That's funny. Odoriferous, 5505. Offer. Opprobrium, overbear. Paraphernalia. Periphery. Pestiferous. Pheromone. Foracy. Phosphorus. Periphera. Prefer. Proffer. Proliferation. Pyrophoric, refer, reference, semaphore, somniferous, splendiferous, suffer, transfer, vociferate, and vociferous. That's a whole shit ton, a lot of different, like, great, yeah, stuff goes on in that. Just BHER, part of, and this is coming under the word phosphorus. So under Lucifer, etymology here. Thanks for hanging out if you are. Smoking helps me slow it down a little. Okay. It's the hypothetical source of evidence for its existence is provided by Sanskrit bharati. He carries, brings, bharti, a bringing, maintenance. Aveston or Aveston, bharati, carries. Old Persian, baranti, they carry. Sorry if I'm saying these words, pronouncing them wrong. Armenian, berem, I carry. Greek, Therian, P-H-E-R-E-I-N. To carry, Ferni, dowry. There we go. Leviticus. Oh, wait, yeah, hold on. Latin, fair, to bear, carry, fours, genitive fortis, chance, luck, perhaps for a thief, chance, luck, perhaps for a thief. So that's where, right? Genitive fortis. Old Irish, baru, berim, I catch, I bring forth. See, Old Irish now, they went, I catch, I bring forth. Like they just went fishing. See us, where we see how we just flopped into the other water there? Like a fish out of water. Pun intended. Out of the age of Pisces. Pouring light. Letting the water be poured through. Clearing our waters and the air. All our systems too. All systems a go. You already know. Okay. Oh, give it to me, baby. So I don't know what's going on now. I'm getting like in the background, right? Because they got some. The devil's out to play. All right. Let's see. Just ignore him. It's like a tirade. It's like, hey, we already said you had to wait. Like, just turn the volume down. Way down. Okay. If I leave here tomorrow. I love this song. Free Bird. Okay, bring forth, buried to carry, Old West, buried to flow, Gothic, barren, or B-A-I-R-A-N, to carry, Old English and Old High German, baron, Old Norse, bara, barrow, Old Church Slavonic, berti, to take, Russian brat, to take. See, different on the, yeah, see, I'm like, see, it's different vibrations. So I was talking about like right Planet. I was watching Planet of the Apes last night, part 4 one, and I just, and well, and right the little girl that was with them, they gave the they gave her the car emblem that said Nova on it, and so then one of the other gorillas had given it to her and was like Nova. But Nova in Spanish means no go, right? So Nova, the car, was a cool race car in America, but if you tried to sell it to a Latin speaking, Spanish speaking, excuse me, right? At that time frame, right? That's why it didn't sell it, because it was like, do you want to buy a card at no go? Hell no. Right? It's like, what are those Americans trying to sell anyway? A card at don't go. 10101. Right? So sometimes we get confused in the words that we use because we think that we're the only ones that, right? And we forget there's so many other languages and terms and etc. and vibrations that they come from at the same time. So while there's a positive, there's also a negative, and then there's also many other, right, colors throughout the wheel and vibrations that come into play, and varying degrees and volumes of such, right, vibrations and frequencies, right, which is where we get our etymology from also. So by the vitamin. All right, anyhow, yeah. So yeah, Old Church Slavic, Barati, to take, Russian brat, to take, Bremia, a burden, Baramenia, pregnant. And Hesperus, I think I already read this one earlier, but that was the other. This is for the evening, night, vesper, poetic for the evening star, 14th century, from Latin Hesperus, from Greek Hesperos, aster, the evening star. So it's like the male, get the male form. From pi, vespero, evening, night, see vesper, related, Hesperian, hence Latin and Greek Hesperia, the land of the West. The West is the best. Get here and we'll do the rest. Applied by the Greeks to Italy, by the Romans to Spain or regions beyond. And vesper, the evening star, from Old French vespri, evening, nightfall. 12th century modern French, vipre. I need some language lessons. And many others. I ain't too proud. I don't mind being a goofball and not knowing shit. But I enjoy learning like all of it, whatever I do, and throughout my experience, throughout my lessons, throughout my time, throughout my all of it, all of it, all of it, all of it, all of it. All right. So from Latin vesper, masculine, vespera, feminine, evening star, evening, west, related to Greek Hesperos, and ultimately from pi, Ukero, Ukero. Sorry, somebody just yelling out my window there. Evening star, evening west, related to Greek Hesperos, and ultimately from pi, Ukero, evening night, source also of Armenian geyser, Old Church Slavonic, Viseru, Polish, Wixor, Russian, Viser, Lithuanian, Vakarus. Makes me think of the Valkyrie, Vakarus. Welsh, Usher, Old Irish, Fescor, evening, perhaps an enlarged form of root, we down. We down. We down? Oh, we down. Source of Sanskrit, ava, down, downward. Thus, literally, direction in which the sun sets. Meaning evening is attested from century 1600. Vespers, sixth canonical hour, is attested from 1610s from plural of Latin vespera, evening. The native name was evensong, Old English, Offensong, which would be where, yeah, Eve came from, right? Eve was born of Adam's rib, so his emotion, right? And then Eve birthed Cain and Abel, positive, negative of that, right? But there were many before the Adam. Let's see. Lucifer, Old English, Satan, also morning star. We read this part. I just threw it in here. Cagliari in Sardinia. Yeah, we already read that. I just added that on the bottom of Hesperus also, in case we didn't already read Lucifer, but we did. So an hour is good for this one. I so appreciate you, Soul Tribe, and hanging out. And I hope you enjoyed. Let's pull a card before we go. West Hill. I wish I could just stay on here for I could just keep going, but time for healing. That's what's up. And see where those hands are. Those are good places to place your hands to heal. Super good. And we also got clinging to the past. So no more of that, because this is a horrible feeling. We got to acknowledge things and let go, right? There's a lot of this going on. So this energy needs healing. And what a perfect way to end this session. I'll see you next time.